Righto, guys, want to get to the Hawke's Bay Cup, race number 7 on the card, Power Farming Hawke's Bay Cup over the 2,200 metres. And BP's talking about some wide open betting races. Steve, run us through this market.
Yeah, what do you got, about 6 or 7 there in the single digits? Dionysus is the favourite, a loose fave. The Dunstan winner over Christmas New Year period at $6. The Mayor at $7 shares that second line with Sir Nate. Swords Drawn at $8 with Leaderboard and Mohaka. Rangatata at $9. Then double figures around our Koya at a $12 price. Hunter Pence, the local, at $14 with Motivation. Langkawi at $16. Paisley Park at $21 with Amano. Amano's got a jockey down for Tarapa, so possibly withdrawn as we get to race start time or race day. And Magic and Canto at $41. Already spoken about that individual. But look, no clear lead. Just stifle betting a touch, possibly with the evenness around the race. But if there was a slight one, it's around number 7 leaderboard, but always well played during the week with a big syndicate. Yeah,
it looks like our customers do need a bit of a hand here, BP, in this race. They're not quite sure what to do.
Yeah, what do you do? It is a very even running of the Hawke's Bay Cup, which is now listed. Gee, hard to believe that the Hawke's Bay Cup is a listed race now. But anyway, it used to be Group 2, as high as Group 2, this race.
Wasn't that the old day you get a free entry into the Adelaide Cup?
Is that still going? Is that still going?
No, well, the Adelaide Cup's run, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, but
true. Good
the old
point.
school racing calendar.
Junior.
You're
Pillage
right.
and Plunder.
Pillage and Plunder. I was trying to get Pillage and Plunder in before you. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Bellier did the was able to win the Hawke's Bay Cup and then head over there. Cronus was another horse that I do remember going through that path of the Hawke's Bay Cup into the Adelaide Cup. Yeah, I mean, look, great memories.
Good old days. Good old
days. Yes, I love the Hawke's. I actually tipped my principal at primary school in the 1994 winner. Now, look, I was the same age as what my kids are now, who are telling me to back Very Elegant. But yeah, he used to be on the school crossing on Friday mornings and Friday afternoon, and I gave him a little piece of paper and I said, back this tomorrow, sir, Torbo. It ran second, of course, in Castletown's Wellington Cup, the most famous Wellington Cup, of course, because the dream burst into reality. And Torbo finished second in that race, ran a very good race, the lead up to the Hawke's Bay Cup, and came out and won the Hawke's Bay Cup for Grant Lawson and jockey David Walsh. So one of those memories that always sticks with me back in 1994 with Torbo winning the Hawke's Bay Cup. And Mr. Shernack, of course, is now on the board at Hawke's Bay Racing, and always catch up with him when I'm at the races. I can never call him his first name. I will still call him Mr. Shernack. Anyway, race number 7. Look, what I like about the race, I like the mare, the two, $7 the price around this horse. Very encouraging run last time at Awapuni in the Gold Cup when beaten in behind Zola Express. Now, this horse has very good form out of Australia, and it just seems to be working to a position where he's not too far away from getting it done. I thought he sits nicely here under the weight scale, and just with what he's done in Australia, his form lines and his past form lines really have him winning this race with what he's done in some of those Wyong Cups and Albury Cups and Wagga Wagga Cups and all those other good races that he's competed in over the last couple of years. And just with that little bit of forgiveness in the ground won't be a hindrance towards him too. Look, Swords Drawn, he is a very hard horse to try and have a bet on, isn't he, Swords Drawn? You find him in a race where he's at $2 and he doesn't get the job done, then he comes out and wins like he did in the Nathan's Memorial. So you've almost got to say, well, do we start swinging back towards being on favour with Swords Drawn? He was beaten in the Auckland Cup most recently behind You Are a Star around the 6 lengths, so he has to be a contender. Does Felix Campbell get a part of it too, right at the top of the books with Hunter Pence, the toppy at 60 kilos, who knows how to win sort of those country cups type of races. And then you've got the inclusion of northern form with Dionysus and those type of horses. So look, it's a very even field, but I was looking towards the mare on the each way at the $7 quote.
Yeah, okay. Paul, if you can find the winner, you'll be well rewarded in this year's Hawke's Bay Cup.
You will be. Just a wide open market there, and I can see why BP is all over the mare. Well, he's won at Flemington, Rosehill, Randwick as well, I think.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Yeah.
And not too many going around Hawke's Bay this weekend that have got that sort of resume behind them. But I do like the look of Swords Drawn.
You're keeping the faith.
I am. Look, that lead-up win before the Auckland Cup run, I think, was against a sort of similar type quality field that he meets here. And runner-up last year to Big Mike in this race. I think one better. Swords Drawn, I think that's a wonderful price, $8.
Yeah, $8. I mean, Probably say that about a few of them though, Steve. I mean, leaderboard's got a bit of support. That was a good win last time out, and Sir Nate's going to be there. He looks to be in a reasonable bit of form, and we haven't even spoken about the favourite Dionysus here. So just keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, firstly on the fave, I just think there's a sense of timing around him. We go back over Christmas New Year, he was Dunstan final winner. Normally that form stacks up in terms of progressing onto open staying events. He had a month between runs post the Dunstan final. Since then, he's just been ticking over nicely with slight improvements rating-wise. I thought it was a deliberate tactic from the stable to bring this horse down to Hawke's Bay 2 starts back. They come back here for what possibly could be a grand final this season before turning him out and bringing him back in the spring. And outside of Koya, every other runner's had 20-plus starts, so he's lightly raced. And for a stayer, he has the most upside, Dionysus. So, but again, loose fave, $6 shot currently. With leaderboard, look, a St Ledger win was solid, but the race shape did suit Thaddeus. Just looking at the numbers, to the 600, the race went out 25 lengths above par. So they went very, very quick. So what that confirmed around leaderboard, which a lot of people already knew, is a genuine one-pace stayer. I just not sure he's going to get that tempo here on Saturday.
Okay.
Back and trip slightly. So that's the one thing. But a real shame this horse never got to the Wellington Cup, because again, over 2 miles, it would have been his sweet spot. But he'll need genuine tempo, because I think he may not have the turn of foot, but in terms of staying credentials, he's probably #1 seed.
Okay. And you can entertain Sir Nate here at all? I mean, he's consistent. He's been a while since he cracked it, but...
Yeah, look, he's a bit in and out, but you could say that against the majority of the field. Look, I loved his run last Friday at Aupuni when dropping back to the mile. He was on a 76-day freshen last Friday at Aupuni. He was chasing a hot tempo set up by Quiz Kid, and he still had the audacity to run into third. He maps in the first 2 here. Now, I believe he finished second last year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so. In behind Big Mike. I just feel that if he can fit in the first 2 and go around about the 600-700 metre mark, whether he gets that trail or that suck in behind another leader remains to be seen. But he doesn't have to. If he wants to go out and lead on his own terms and give them a bit of a fright at the 600 metre mark, he might be hard to catch. I just liked his on the quick back up, stepping up and trip, and he's definitely an improver considering he was on a 76-day freshen up on last Friday.
Okay. Where is Big Mike? BP?
He just had a little hiccup leading into his race last week, and he had to be late scratched. So they just put sort of the plans on hold. So, watch the space with where he heads to next. I know that they thought about trying to get him to the race. He was nommed for here, but he's heading to Tarapa. He's down to run at Tarapa, isn't he, Big Mike?
Oh, right.
Look, you're right. He did run second last year behind Big Mike, and Sir Nate's one of those horses that can be entertained at sort of around that $7 or $8 quote. I actually don't mind a roughie in the race in Paisley Park. He is right out of form, but he does drop back in weight tomorrow on Saturday, and that will be a key for him. He's not running his best races last couple with big weights. Look, if he can find that form that he was in, obviously a couple of seasons ago when he was winning the same race as Dionysus, in the Dunstan final, those type of races, and then a couple of his runs last preparation went too far off the mark. He was unlucky in a Kaimai Stakes where he actually just got buried and just was no chance of getting out in behind Langkawi. So, I mean, he was beaten 5.5 lengths, but it actually was just purely because he was unlucky, Paisley Park. So he would be my roughie in the race. He's drawn 14 of 14, so that's not ideal. He can't get a soft run in the race. He's just going to have to try and work over and find a position. But Lindsay Sadlerly takes the ride, and he'd be my little roughie in the race. And look, you can find a few that you like if you want to spec at a bit of a price, but he'd be that little each way for me. Yeah,
it's a good trifecta race, isn't it? So you like Paisley Park, maybe in that top 3, top 4. Who's your on-top selection again, BP?
Yeah, I'll go with the mare. I do like his chances on the weekend, just with what I saw at Aupuni when finishing into 4th position. Just gave me that indication that he's not too far away from getting himself back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, okay. BP with the mare. Who'd you have on top? There's a few we haven't mentioned here, Paul. I mean,
it's that sort of market.
Motivation. What, Rangitata? Have you got any of those floating around in your numbers?
Yeah, I don't mind the look of Rangitata. I thought that was a really strong run in the St Ledger and won a couple on the trot before that. So Rangitata will be in there somewhere. But yeah, I've got Swords Drawn on top.
Okay, so you're going Swords Drawn the win?
I am indeed.
Yeah, okay. Gee, you're keeping the faith. Keeping the faith. If you had to be pinned down here, Steve, the Hawke's Bay Cup, who would you have a crack at?
Yeah, I like Sir Nate. I just like on the quick back up. It's a nice profile. I tend to lean towards when stepping up in distance. Big improvement. I think he maps well in the first two. Hawke is probably the leader. Can be a bit in and out in terms of profiling that individual on the map, but yeah, my map has Mohaka leading with Sir Nate second outer, so even race, but no jock on Sir Nate yet, so yeah, just watch that.
Okay.
Just watch that engagement.
No surprise to see the boys well spread in this year's edition of the Hawke's Bay Cup.